Hello there, you're very welcome to Parliament. First of our quarterfinals, Fianna and Judes. You'll be joining Will Downing in the commentary box in a few moments. But before you do head up, Fianna Judes, I suppose. Fianna unbeaten in the group stages. Judes finished second to Luke, and I suppose an overall view into this match. Fianna favourites?
Yeah, probably hard to disagree with that, Shane. Fianna have a lot of talent all over the pitch. Liam Rush obviously joining this year has moved into the area. Massive talent and a huge addition to Fianna, especially in the backs there. He's such a leader and such a strong player. So I suppose Fianna probably will be heavy favourites, but Judes will relish that. They'll eat up the underdog symbol. They would have been saying that all week in their camp, and they'll be right up for this and trying to turn it into a battle.
Absolutely, and Fianna are playing a great kind of free-flowing style of hurling, and Neil O'Callaghan, the manager, did say that they have that bit of hunger, they have that bite as well. But in terms of, yes, they may be favourites, Judes do have, and a man you know very well from the Dublin setup, the Danny Sutcliffe factor. Yeah,
absolutely, and sure, it was so clear in the group games that he's such a talent. He's named at full forward today, but hard to see him playing in there. I'd say he'll venture out to his usual spot at wing forward. And I suppose for Neil O'Callaghan, the Fianna manager, when he's looking at Judes and how to get over them, Danny is the big man to pick out. So I'd imagine Paul O'D will pick up Danny and try to follow him around the place, because if you can kind of put the clamps on Danny, you go a long way to beating Judes.
I suppose it's not a very simple question to answer, but how do you put the clamps on Danny? I'm sure you've tried to do it in Dublin training. But
Danny is because he's a player that can mix it both ways. He can stand under a ball and win it, and he can run forward and win it. So Danny's going to try to create space. He'll run forward looking for that ball out in front. If you follow him, the ball will be put in behind him into the corner forward. If you don't follow him, the ball's going to be put to his hand and over the bar. So I'm yet to figure that one. If anyone has a little advice for me, I'd gladly take it.
Do get in touch with Ode. He's looking, always learning. Well, listen, the Fianna they've scored 769 in that group stage. I think it was 11 points up, 1-8 within 11 minutes against Crave as well. They're free scoring as well, so you would expect a strong start from them.
Yeah, unfortunately at my own club, Whitehall was.
I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up.
Some of that score line, but Fianna will play ball. They'll move the ball. A lot of really nippy forwards, especially in the full forward line. AJ Murphy's been on fire this year, and they're just going to fire the ball into each corner, probably without even looking, because they're so well drilled that full forward line knows what the ball getting. When Liam Rush gets the ball, he knows the system, knows the style of play, so they're very well clued into him. Not to write off Judes. Judes probably were the underdog against Vincent. Again, relished the underdog tag and got up for it and got over over the line for a great win there. But when you look at the Fianna team, there's just so much talent there with Donald Burke, Shane Barrett playing in the forwards, and one of the key men who I'd be looking out for, Sean Curry, who is currently injured, hasn't played so far this year. If he's fit at all, Fianna be looking to get 20 minutes into him and be maybe looking forward in the season to semi-final and possible final.
Okay, well, you'll be getting the steps up. You're upstairs to join Will Downing on commentary. Throw in just about get underway. We do have a quarter-final a bit later on. Lucan face Crave Kieran, but first it is against Fianna in the company of Owen O'Donnell. And first, Will Downing. Cheers, Pat. Thanks for that. Good. So, thanks, Ron.
Danny's just going to try run wide, try run out to the angles and try pick up ball, and Rush will have no choice but to follow him there.
So Danny Sutcliffe to take for St Judes. 11 points against St Vincent's in the opening group game, and that is Judes off the mark. Lovely free. Could be the first of many for him today. It's 2 points to 1.
Yeah, and the Fianna here are very vocal. You know, they're all shouting at Jono, looking for the ball. They've had a couple of quick restarts and again going short here, trying to keep the ball and retain possession.
Great break down the near side. Racing forward is Donal Ryan, and he had Kevin Lahiff with him. Just half blocked down on the overlap here is Peter Feeney. Feeney trying a snapshot, a very clever shot. And that's a gorgeous point to make it 3 points to 1.
Really good score by Peter Feeney, and it's Donal Ryan that made the run there. A great dual player for Fianna, playing football and hurling at the moment. Very athletic, big, strong runner of the ball, so he'll be looking to continue that.
Good score for Peter Feeney, and that coming 5 minutes in to make it 3 points to 1. It was a gorgeous long strike from a great distance out.
Yeah, and the other end of things, that's 3 wides for Judes now, and Judes really need to be taking these chances that, you know, as underdogs, they need to be converting every chance they get, because as the game goes on, they'll start to regret their misses.
Looks like there's been another change for Fianna. That looks like the number 19 of Ono Sullivan, as he's struck it long down the middle, and again a little bit of slashing, and it'll be a free out for St Judes. Apologies if you weren't picking up commentary for the first couple of minutes. Point scorers so far: Donal Burke, Colin Curry, Peter Feeney for Fianna, Danny Sutcliffe for St Judes. It's Will Downing and Ono Donald with you. It's been a good bright start to this.
Yeah, it has, yeah, and Danny has a long free now. He would have been happy to get the shorter in free to get his eye in, but this is a long way out. Just looking at the key matchups here, you know, it's looking like Jerry McManus is picking up Donal Burke, which is no easy task. Donal's going to try get into pockets of space and look for loose ball to try get some scores. And Rob Hardy is picking up Shane Barrett, so they're 2 strong physical players, so a good matchup there.
He'll be struck long by Danny Sutcliffe just around his own 45-metre line. It's dropping in around the square, but there are men in the square. Free out for Fianna. Judes with 3 goals in their group games, and Fianna hitting 7. It's a lovely, cracking, long free out it was by John O'Tracy for Owen McHugh. That's a great strike. Brilliant score. And Fianna go 4 points to 1 up. Absolutely great strike.
Colin Curry's second point of the day, and both points very good. Won the ball well from play, turned his man and put it over. And Fianna, if at all possible, will be trying to get Sean Curry on the pitch. He's had an ankle injury so far, but they'll be looking to get as much game time into possible. So he's a player hopefully we'll see as the match progresses.
Colin Curry with 2, Peter Feeney, Donal Burke with 1 apiece. As Judes look to break away again with Kevin Lahiff up towards the 45. High one from Lahiff. Has he got this range right? It's just drifted to the right and wide again, and it's 4 early wides for St Judes now. Yeah,
and they're tough shots, Will. You know, it's hard to say that they should be scoring them, but they are the ones that you'd hope maybe 2 of them might go over to keep them within reach of Fianna.
And the thing is, I don't think Fianna have had a wide yet in this. But they've got 4 points. They've been very accurate with their shooting. And remember, they had that very great early chance as well when the Judes back line was opened up. We'll actually give you the starting lineups very quickly. It's Paul O'D. Little flick forward towards Martin Quilty. Lovely hand pass it was as it went through Liam Rush. It's around the 45. There's been very little time wasted in the puck outs. So quickly run through the Fianna side. It's John O'Tracy in goal. Full back line, Conor Kelly, Kevin Burke, Sean Baxter. Half back line, Paul O'D, Liam Rush and Donal Ryan. In midfield, Peter Feeney and Martin Quilty. In the half forward line, Tom Gleeson, Donal Burke and Shane Barrett. And up front, Colin Curry with 2 points, Owen McHugh and AJ Murphy. So the free coming for Donal Burke, hugging this left-hand touchline just outside the 45. But this is very gettable, and they only have 1 man inside the 45, so they know what's coming, they know what's expected.
Yeah, hopefully I won't put commentators cursing it, but having a player like Donal Burke in your team is just such an advantage that, you know, these frees are nailed all day of the week. And
lovely.
Having a 90% plus free take in your team is such a big asset.
And he maintains that, and it's 100% for him so far. It was a lovely strike. We were right behind that one. and it's 5 points to 1. It's been a very good start for them.
Yeah, and Fianna, they're extremely comfortable on the ball. You know, they're trying to work out the ball at all times. Comfortable going short, comfortable making runs for long puck outs. And the key theme is to retain the ball at all costs. And Neil O'Callaghan has a very well drilled team in his hands here.
You've seen the Fianna and Crave Kieran very, very close quarters in the past few weeks. Both impressive.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of competitive games in Dublin hurling now, which is great because that drives the standard of everything, and we've hopefully one competitive game here this afternoon and another one between Lucan and Crave following shortly.
They're all live as usual on Dubs TV this weekend. It was a short puck out by Ross O'Reilly for Owen Grant. They've just got a little bit bogged down in the centre of the park, and the Fianna are just swarming round it at the moment. Gathered well by Donald Burke again, 2 points to his name, both frees. And in his first 2 matches, 2 goals and 27 points. A lot of those obviously from place balls, but all the same.
Yeah, a lot of them are from place balls, but you see there that he was able to have the strength to win his own free, and he won't mind whether they're from frees or open play. They count the same on the scoreboard at the end of the day.
They sure do. We're just missing the ball. They was struck long. It took a while for it to come back. And Donald Burke is taking his time to set this one up.
And I suppose, Will, it's probably important to note that Fianna probably would have been the talk of Dublin all week, that they'd be heavy favourites, and Judes wouldn't have shied away from that. I know that their player and their attitude, they might have taken a siege mentality approach, and they would have relished the underdog card, and it worked very well for them against Vincent's, like you said earlier, in the earlier championship game. So, you know, Vincent's are going to try and make this a scrappy game, lots of contact, lots of physical tackles, and try to keep it in scoring distance in the first 15 minutes.
And Donald Burke definitely has that scoring distance. He's got 3 points already in this first half. We've only played 11 and a half minutes, and it's 6 points to 1. It's been a resounding start to Fianna in this, and he's got 3 all from place balls.
Yeah, worrying for Judes at the moment. You know, that you might be trying to find Danny with the puck out here and get a big play to try settle themselves into the game and lift the team, because worrying signs so far.
They've gone for another short one. Ross O'Reilly to Owen Grant. Chance to switch it across from right to left towards the 45, but it's been cut out well by Liam Rush. Did well. Quick hand pass across towards Paul O'D. On the charge, support alongside from Kevin Burke. Looking good too. Burke with a little tap forward towards Martin Quilty. Just batted down brilliantly ahead of him. That's a lengthy one, which is always going to go down the throat of John O'Tracy and no one else. There was nobody out basically inside the 20 for St Judes. But what a great charge down that was by Joe McManus to block the attempted clearance of Liam Rush. It's come out towards Fianna Brain. A good high one. That's a good point from play. That is their first point from play. It's taken 12 minutes to come, and it's 6 points to 2. Very
uncharacteristic mistake from Rushy. He just thought he had more time than he did, but that'll lift Judes a lot. You know, turnover is a positive, and then the score as well to follow it up. So hopefully they can reignite Judes back into the game. They definitely need it to get a little bit back into the match to claw themselves back in this first half. But it's knocked long by Conor Kelly. Good cut out by Mark Maguire, the half-back for St Judes, the centre half-back. It's a good one that's teed up around the 65-metre line, and that's a glorious strike from a long way out. It's a brilliant point sent there by Dermot McLaughlin. 6 points to 3, and that's their longest range one so far. Yeah, really good corner forward, Jim McLaughlin, dual player as well, will play for Judes footballers. Very skillful, and if you get the time and space like that, he'll put them over all day. And a free one here for Judes again, so you can feel the tide slowly beginning to turn here. That's a lot of positive plays in a row that they've had, and that's the thing with momentum. It can shift quite quickly if you get on top. Quickly run through the routes. The St Judes side, as lined out certainly in the match programme: Ross O'Reilly in goal, full back line Kieran Mangan, Owen Grant, Owen McLaughlin, half back line Rob Hardy, Mark Maguire, Joe McManus, centre of the field Alan Connolly and John Carthy, half forward line Fianna Brain, Kieran McLaughlin and Kevin Lahiff, and in the full forward line Dimmer McLaughlin, Danny Sutcliffe and Joe McManus. Swaps and switches notwithstanding, and Ono Sullivan has come into the Fianna side wearing number 19. As that's knocked long towards the 20-metre line. It's well controlled by Dimmer McLaughlin. Chance to get the quick turn. That is a fantastic block. Superb. Rush coming out, and it was Peter Feeney in with him, stopping it up. Little flick back towards Danny Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe with a lot of company around him. Donald Burke trying to charge him down, trying to get it out over the sideline, and they've managed to turn it around, get a reversal. And Fianna get that one as well. They get the free in. What was a very promising looking St Judes attack just broken down. Yeah, maybe Danny was just trying to bring the ball into contact and win a free there, but to be fair to him, there was a lot of traffic around there and not a lot of options. And you can see Fianna already bringing energy to the game, that they were shouting and encouraging the turnover. So while they're well able to play, they're still going after the physical side of the game as well.
John O'Tracy coming a long way out with the big boss on the 45, and he's launched this one out towards the opposite 45, and it was decent close control by Colin Curry, the only man to get 2 points from play so far. It's a very tight angle that he's working with at the moment. It's Kieran McLaughlin who's trying to break his way down. Just kept it in play too, did McLaughlin. A little bit of support. Owen Grant, the hand pass just a bit too strong for him, but he's managed to recover Grant, and he's won the free as well.
Yeah, ungranted well there to stand up Colin Curry and win possession back, but Colin's looking dangerous in there so far. There was a great touch, was just unlucky not to get his hand to it at the end. So Fianna will keep trying to target him as much as possible, and he's on fire.
We have a hashtag as well if you want to comment on Twitter. We might read out the best ones, we might even read out the worst ones. Hashtag go ahead DSHA for this Go Ahead Dublin Senior Hurling Championship quarter-final, the first of the 4 this weekend. It's a great long one launched up. Here's John Carty, chance from 35, and that's a glorious point from John Carty, and they're coming over in all the angles now. 4 misses in a row, but now 4 points in a row for St Judes, and it's Fianna 6 points, St Judes 4.
Very nice one to get
for the water break.
Yeah, very nice one to get coming into the water break. John Carty's had a great year for Jude so far. He's some engine on him in midfield there, and just took the chance that it was going to break in behind Danny and Paulo D, and a great score. And Jude's much more impressive in the last 5-6 minutes. It took him a while to settle into the game, but now that they're in it, this is more like the Judes we've seen so far this year.
And they've been excellent so far this year, and that 2-point win over St Vincent's, a real classic. 22 points to 3-11. Vincent's in goal scoring form that night, but Jude's lots of scores, lots of points, saw them through in the end by 2 points. They lost by 10 to Lucan Sarsfields and edged out, well, more than edged out Setanta by 11 points in the end to make sure that they were in position to get into this quarter-final.
Yeah.
Well, that's the opening opportunity after a few seconds. A brilliant goal-scoring chance which came through up front after only 10-15 seconds in the very first attack, and then that led to the free in the 20-metre line for Donald Burke that he sent over the top.
Yeah, and that's Colin Curry with his first point from play over on the sideline, and that's a great score, just running away from the defender and to throw it over the bar like that.
Well, St Judes beginning to respond after that. They've scored the last 3 points in a row. Their first score from Danny Sutcliffe, that was to make it 2-1. Action's about to resume in the next few seconds. And then that beautiful strike, a couple of beautiful strikes from the opposing wings from Colin Curry. We've had the water break, and hopefully you've had time for yours as well. We resume with John O'Tracy. Chance to launch it long up again towards the 45, and it's well recovered here by, on the near side, AJ Murphy. AJ Murphy coming well, and AJ Murphy over-carrying as it was adjudged. He's ended up in the deck, ended up in the ground around the 45, and he got no change that time out of Kieran Mangan.
No, but very obviously a set play from Fianna there after the water break. Their Fianna half forward line dropped very deep into midfield and nearly even the half back line, and all three of the Fianna full forwards made an option for John O'Tracy's puck out. And when you have a keeper like John O'Tracy in goal, he's nearly like a quarterback, and you can use it as a platform to launch attacks. So something very evidently that Fianna have been working on.
To try and catch out the opposition, catch them napping, still concentrating on other things.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing of the water break. We're seeing teams constantly trying to take advantage of it and come up with new ways of getting an advantage over the opponent. So Fianna have obviously they're so well drilled, and Fianna probably will be disappointed to be only 3 points ahead for probably the majority of possession and momentum in the first half, in the first quarter.
Free incoming. Just outside the 45, and remember this led to a very worthy strike from Danny Sutcliffe earlier. This is heading in towards the edge of the square. That's a great claim by Liam Rush. What a catch, and bursting out of his own back lines, trying to bring it as far up as he can, up towards his own 65. Well gathered again by Mark Maguire. Maguire cleaning his man out, but couldn't get the ball clean up, and his man was Liam Rush that time, who's popped up beyond the 65. Hasn't been cleanly won, and just when Fianna thought they might have got that going their way, it's gone against. It's a free for Judes, and it's a great chance to cut it down
Lovely hit from Mark Maguire on Liam Rush there. Rushy probably won't be happy with that one. We must get that highlight clipped and send it to him.
Quick one for you. The main scoreboard here is having it 6 points to 3. Which one do you think should be chalked off, if that's correct?
Yeah, we'll have to get the answer to that. So that's the scoreboard I was looking at. But Judes will be looking to add another one to the score here. Either way, it's a scoreable free for Danny.
Well, Danny Sutcliffe will have the strike just from outside the Nafina 65. That's well hit. Has he the accuracy? He does. Gorgeous score.
Yeah, and the free taking is just another dimension Danny has added to his game this year. Probably in past, Fianna and Breen would have had the responsibility of frees, but Danny has taken over and obviously scored the winner against Vincent's in the first game of championship. So another dimension to his game.
That's a gorgeous response. That is a fabulous response straight away from the breaking ball, and it's 7 points for Nafina. They've done brilliantly to claim that.
A fine score from Martin Quilty there, one of the stalwarts in Nafina. He's been around a long time and means a massive amount to him, so he'll be looking to push on and really trying to win something with him this year.
Another free in.
Yeah, and just the contrast of style of play is that when Nafina get a free or a dead ball, they're trying to do things very quick, and when you look in at the Judes full forward line, there's lots of space there, but they're just kind of waiting for the ball to come in high on top of them. And Danny's coming out to say it's a long way out, and still there's a massive amount of space in front of Fianna and Breen. You might just wonder, would Judes be better keeping possession?
So 7 points to 4, the Nafina lead, 19 and a half minutes played as it's struck long by Danny Sutcliffe, and Danny Sutcliffe hits that to the right and wide. So that's 5 wides against St Judes.
Yeah, long way out, and Danny had missed one of them previously, so Judes might be better keeping possession and try to keep competitive in them situations.
So 7 points to 4 is the lead for Nafina. And that injury to be attended to just on the edge of the St Jude Square. And that's what's holding things up right now. The injury to Kieran Mangan, the cornerback.
Yeah, and looks like Judes have got their matchups fairly spot on so far, that they've managed to limit the Nafina forwards as much as relatively possible with Jerry McManus, Mark and Donald Burke, and Kieran McLaughlin picking up Owen McHugh, who is currently living in London and doing his training with Sean Tracy's club in London. So great effort for him to come back from London for the games and keep up the training while he's abroad.
Coming over and back every single game, well, that's dedication.
Yeah. Well, he's a great player for Nafina. He's been around a long time, and he's very athletic and brings a dimension to the Nafina forward line that maybe other people don't have. So they'll be very happy to have him there.
Well, later on today, 5 o'clock, the second of the quarterfinals. Crave Kieran against Lucan Sarsfields is live on Dubs TV. And tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Kilmacud Crokes against St Oliver Plunkett's own Rua. And then at 4, the rematch of last year's final. Cuala, the 2-in-a-row champions from 2019 and 2020, up against Ballyboden St Enders. So now we can resume again with that puck out. Deep from John O'Tracy in his own goal. 7 points to 5. That has been changed, but I think we might be changing the scoreboard there again. The shot has gone to the right and wide, and it's from Donald Burke, and that is the first wide we make it for Nafina in the game. So we did have it 5 points for St Judes, and that is the scoreline. It is 7 points to 5 now. Off the back of that, there was a scoreboard malfunction slightly at the local end here, but anyway, they can add another one on here, surely. No, they can't. The miss by Kieran McLaughlin. He was in a great position to score. Very quick puck out, but McLaughlin had the great chance to make it 6 points and just missed.
Yeah, and you just can't help but feel that these misses are going to be rude at the end of the day. That, you know, as underdogs and across hurling like this, that when you're up against it, you need to be taking all your chances. And Jude's just with too many wide so far.
Yeah, Jude's have 6 wides now, and Nafina have won in the game as that one is launched forward well by Owen O'Sullivan. It's up towards the 20-metre line. There's claims from St Judes that was out, But the shot, a narrow angled one, it'll stay in, it'll be kept alive by Ross O'Reilly up towards the 13-metre line. Little flick up for Alan Connolly. Real charge up. Kevin Lahaye had the hand out, lost out brilliantly to Donald Burke. It's flicked up towards Owen McHugh. Would have done well to have reached that. It's been very well policed. And the free will be St Judes off the back of that. So 7 points to 5. Our own scoreboard had 5 of them all along. The scoreboard here had 4, but that's been rectified now. So St Judes have got back officially in the stadium at least. They're due.
Yeah, and that's Kieran McLaughlin again that won that free. He's doing very well there so far as a point to himself, and has covered back defensively a couple of times.
He's covered a huge amount of ground so far. It's gathered well here by Liam Rush. Little flick across towards Paul O'Dea. Lovely little flick forward by O'Dea. Nice one beyond the 45-metre line up towards the 20. It's a tight one from AJ Murphy. It'll drop awkwardly. Ross O'Reilly got there first in ahead of Colin Curry. 2 points so far in the game, and that critical goal against Crave Kieran in the middle of the group games that maintained the 100% record. Great break on the roll here by Joe McManus. He's won the free inside the 45. The angle is tight, but Danny Sutcliffe wants it straight away. He knows the way to go.
Really good bit of play from Judes there. Paul O'Dea, the Nafina sweeper, had made a run in support of AJ there and didn't receive and couldn't get back in time, so Judes took advantage of the space in there. But great corner forward play. John McManus out in front, wins the touch, takes his man on it and free, and they're the scores that'll keep Judes alive in the game.
So Danny Sutcliffe hugging the left hand side, but it's the way of the modern free takers. Doesn't matter the angle, doesn't matter the side, and it hasn't mattered for Danny Sutcliffe yet. 2 points to his name. This would make it 3, and he has done it. And we're down to a solitary point now. It's 7 points to 6 with almost 25 minutes played, and Danny Sutcliffe gets his third.
Yeah, Jude's right in this, but I say Nafina will be disappointed now coming into half-time with the way they've performed. They just haven't really clicked. 2 good balls into AJ Murphy in the corner there and couldn't execute. And you know, they have players like Donald Burke and Shane Barrett who have been largely anonymous for large parts of the game, so they'll be looking to get their key men involved now.
Liam Rush trying to get past 2 men, Danny Sutcliffe and John McManus, and he got past them both. Ended up dropping out on the near side, but what a great piece of physicality from Rush to break through those men.
Yeah, such stereotypical Rushy there. He's such a strong man, and his real key strength is he'll break the tackle and then look to hand it off to someone, and once you break that tackle it opens up the rest of the play. So Rushy has been, to be fair to him, doing very well back there so far. Settling
in well at Nafina as well. After making the move, it'll be a free for holding. Won by Alan Connolly for St Judes. So at one stage there was 6 points to 1 down, 5 points between them. Now it's just the minimum between them. 7 points to 6 is the Nafina lead, and Judes trying to build from another attack.
Yeah, Danny's coming back again. Take a free from a long way, but at fear of repeating myself, there's a lot of space in front of that Judes full forward line, and this is, if he gets it, a great score, but the percentages and the 2 he's missed previously might say to play it in.
Nothing wrong with repeating yourself. It means the same points are coming up. Will this be a point, though, coming up for Danny Sutcliffe? 3 so far. This is so close to his own 45. If he gets this all the way, it would be incredible. It's dropping dangerously in the square, and it's a good claim again. Well caught. It's flicked out O'Dea to Liam Rush on the race beyond the 20. Now they'll combine again excellently around the 45-metre line. It's a nice little trot forward. Paul O'Dea combined brilliantly. Again, a 1-2-1-2 with Liam Rush, and that'll be away by Connor Kelly. Kelly with a chance to launch it beyond the 45, but it was just left behind. Rob Hardy recovered well, got it away up towards the 65-metre line. Bit of room for Alan Connolly here if he's spotted, and he's been spotted by everybody, including Martin Quilty, but he's come away with it. He's got it up towards Owen McLaughlin. McLaughlin had the range, McLaughlin has the strike, and that will tie it up at 7 points apiece. It's Owen McLaughlin.
Yeah, and no better man to tie it up. He's done that for years for Judes. He's just a really, really consistent corner back. Always does the hard work for Judes, and no better man to pop up the score there.
Sides are level for the first time.
Things just not going to plan for Nafina at the moment, Will. They just seem to not clicking around the pitch.
It's been gathered brilliantly by Alan Connolly. Bursts through a whole number of men, and it's up to Kevin Lahiff. Launched up beyond the 45. Is there a little bit of room coming for Joe McManus? Little bit of jogging back by him, according to Mark Ryan, who's well positioned on halfway to see that. It's a free out for Na Fianna. So why is it not going right for them at the moment then, do you reckon, Owen?
Yeah, it's funny that they're trying to keep retaining ball all the time, and they're doing it fairly successfully up to a point, but their transition into the forward line and execution has been quite poor so far. That really need to get a few more scores on the board.
Launched long by John O'Tracy. That's going to be a dangerous one, dropping inside the square. Could go absolutely anywhere. It's keeper to keeper. It's Ross O'Reilly who comes and claims it for St Judes. Managed to smuggle it away towards Owen McLaughlin, and he stayed in support for the pass. That's the way to do it. Nice one too. Kieran Mangan getting it way long, and O'Reilly very, very shrewd. And now it's been flicked forward by Fionn O'Rian Breen. A very early point from in the game. Now you might try something from a tight angle. He likes it. He has every reason to. It's his second point of the game, and St Judes, who trailed by 5, now lead by 1 on the stroke of half time.
Score of the day so far, Will, anyway. Won the ball between two Na Fianna players, and Fionn O'Rian Breen is just such a skillful hurling. His hurling, his shooting, his touch and skill has always been his greatest asset, and showed it in abundance there, putting the ball over from the sideline.
Glorious score, and St Judes have got 7 of the last 8 points in this game. It's been a remarkable turnaround, and they have been looking brilliant.
Yeah, and just again, Na Fianna just quiet in place around the pitch. That Donald Burke really needs to start getting into it, and Shane Barrett and Owen McHugh and these lads that have been so strong for Na Fianna in previous games. So really need to.
Jared McManus being spoken to, and maybe Donald Burke as well. It's a yellow card for Jared McManus.
Yeah, it must have been something off the ball there. Will, I didn't see, but Jim McManus wouldn't want a yellow card when he knows he has to be careful now for the remainder of the game, marking Donald Burke.
No doubt about it, and it's launched long and dangerously into towards Colin Curry. Curry still having a look at it, and he was caught high. It's a free in a very, very good position for Na Fianna to try and tie this up right on half time.
Yeah, Colin Curry again, that's his third point now after this. He'll contribute to the game. Did very well to win the ball in a tight area, win the free, and you know it's the classic corner forward. You see them come to contact and throw the hands up in the air and free in, rightly so. And
Owen Grant booked as well right on half time, a few seconds after Jared McManus. The first one spotted by the umpire, the second one by everybody pretty much. So this to make it on the stroke of half time. 8 points apiece. Donald Burke has 3 points already in the game, same as Danny Sutcliffe.
And just as Donald Burke is free, we can see Na Fianna setting up for the Judes puck out, and both wing forwards, Shane Barrett and Owen McHugh, have dropped inside their own 45 nearly, or inside their own 65, to try congest the space for Judes.
It was a good score. Pucked long by Ross O'Reilly, so we're level for the second time in the game since scoring began. 7 points all and then 8 points all, and it's been overcarrying called against Liam Rush, which he can't quite believe, but he'll have to believe it, and now they'll have to face the St Judes free.
Yeah, not sure about that one. Normally you get the benefit of the doubt when you're getting pulled back like that, and after a spectacular catch. Just normally get the benefit of the doubt when you're trying to drive the legs, but Judes will take it, and another one for Danny to punish.
So Sutcliffe for the lead at half time. 90 seconds beyond the 30 minutes. Sutcliffe ready and waiting. There have been a few long ones that have fallen short, but everything around this range has been accurate so far. That one hasn't been, though. He missed it.
No, and that's it. That'll drain Judes. You can see that just you're nearly adding the point on before the free is taken. So when things don't go to plan, it's a big drain.
As Donald Ryan launches it up, and I wonder if the extra point, if it is going to come, is going to be Na Fianna's before half time. But that's been well gathered by Rob Hardy. Chance to get it clear. Can they redeem themselves and Judes lead again heading into half time? That was the glorious opportunity for it to come, but it just wasn't parked between the posts by Sutcliffe. 3 points for him. He'll put that down himself as a bad miss. You'll see number 18 there on the pitch, Sean Burke. Very important goal against Whitehall. John O'Tracy well out of goal. He's launched this one long, very long, and it's held up well for Paul O'Dea. O'Dea 55 from the Jude's goal. Chance for Donald Burke to strike this one long, and he just brilliantly puts that between the posts.
Yeah, unreal. He's such a talent, Will. Just Kieran Magnum's been all over him all game, but Donald just gets the one chance in not even half a yard of space and just turns him and puts it over in top class.
That was a lovely, lovely, lovely score. And there might be another one coming, and Judes might well be kicking themselves because they should be in front by this stage and they're behind. It's AJ Murphy who's got support from it. Baxter, it's a foul, it's a free in. It's a brilliant scoring opportunity for Nafina, a chance for them to double their advantage with half-time just around the corner.
Yeah, it has to be said, AJ Murphy did it very well there. Made a 20-30 yard sprint maybe on a ball that he shouldn't have got, and got the touch in and won the free. They recycled the ball to Baxter, who won the free, but they're the hard yards that'll put Nafina ahead. And maybe the Donald Burke, you'd assume he scored this in 2 points and a half time. Probably not what Nafina wanted at the start of the game, but a cracking game for a neutral bystander like us.
No doubt about that. So Donald Burke, 5 points so far, 4 from frees, and that glorious one from play a few moments ago. This to make it 10 points to 8. Bang on, 34 minutes in this first half. That is a gorgeous shot again. And half-time it is. So Donald Burke, well, you just can't give him a sniff up front, can you? He's ratcheted up 6 points, but that one from play was absolutely fabulous. And St Judes, who had a chance to lead 9 points to 8, they had that miss free from Danny Sutcliffe. He's got 3 points so far in the half-time score at Parnell Park. And the first of the go-ahead Senior A Hurling Championship quarter-finals. It's Nafina 10 points, it's St Judes 8.
Very good first half of hurling. Surprisingly happy about it. I think a lot of people thought Nafina were heavy favourites coming into this, and I'd say Judes were banging the drum of underdogs all week, so they've come with a lot of fight and firepower. Things just not clicking like we said already for Nafina. Maybe some of their key men up front aren't as involved in the game as they would have hoped, but Judes will get massive energy from this. They'll go into their team talk now full of energy and hoping to continue on in the same format in the second half. I
remember no dressing rooms in play for this, so they're both perched up in the goal behind the church end here at Parnell Park. And a quick run through the scorers in that first half. And Nafina 6 points, Donald Burke, 2 for Colin Curry, 1 each for Peter Feeney and Martin Quilty. And for St Judes, 3 points for Danny Sutcliffe, 2 for Fianna Breen, 1 each for Dermot McLaughlin, for John Carthy, and a glorious one from Owen McLaughlin. But that has tended to also mean quite short half times as well, quite a bit of the championship this year.
Yeah, it's funny. It certainly has, and there's a lot of advantages to being staked out in the pitch there. That you're still in your tight circle and you can get your message in quite quickly. The water breaks are interesting. That it seems that whatever team has the puck out going in on the water break tries to use a set play, and Nafina have made advantage of that in the first half. And it has to be said, through all their puck outs, they seem to be well drilled. That there's a lot of movement up front. Whereas Judes are quite reliant on Danny for the long puck outs, and Fianna are more so trying to work it.
You a fan of the water break?
I'm a fan of the minute rest and the breather that it might give you. The chasing someone around for 35 minutes, 30 minutes can be quite a task.
So first half highlights coming here. I remember the half-time situation, 10 points to 8 for Nafina, and this was a nice little burst forward and score by Fianna Breen. The 2 points he's got so far have been excellent.
Yeah, again, like I said earlier, really skillful hurler and just has taken his chances when they come up.
Owen McLaughlin with a gorgeous score from the left-hand side as well for St Judes. Remember, there was that brilliant fight back. There were 6 points to 1 down. This was John Carthy, was his points along the way, having scored that goal against Lucan Sarsfields in what was heavy defeat in the end by 10 points. 3 scores from Danny Sutcliffe, all frees for St Judes, but Nafina have just kept responding each time. But Sutcliffe will really be rowing that miss late in the first half. That wasn't it. This is the shot from Owen McLaughlin, which was a glorious point that we were right behind.
Yeah, and you knew the second he hit it that he just turned it and ran away. He was going over, and it can't be stated enough how important he is to that Judes team.
And a few easy frees from Donald Burke, but there was that glorious score that he got as well. Colin Curry, we have to appreciate the 2 points that he's managed to get. This was Paul O'D just knocking the ball short, and then a wonderful one knocked long. And then that free right at the end of the first half from Burke to give it A half-time situation, 10-8 in favour of Na Fianna. So how angry or upset will St Judes be that they could have gone in themselves at half-time, having eaten up what was quite a deficit?
Yeah, and I suppose it's a good sign that they'll be annoyed that they're not ahead, remain competitive. I'd say that was their goal all along in this game, was to keep within scoring distance as long as possible, and then come the last quarter you never know what's possible. So I say Judes will be a happy team at half time, and I said the message to the Na Fianna lads was we need to up this seriously.
What is it that Na Fianna have to do to break free, break clear a bit more in this second half?
Yeah, the likes of Shane Bart, he's been around a long time, and granted playing maybe out of position up in the forwards, but has been very quiet from play. So looking to get lads like him and Owen McHugh, and AJ's been good, working hard, getting on ball, but maybe the final piece and execution needs to come in as well.
Well, the team talks are still going on. The huddles are open. We'll be back in a few moments' time with the second half of the first of these go-ahead Senior A Hurling Championship quarter-finals. It's Na Fianna 10 points. It's St Judes 8, and we'll be back in a couple of moments. So ready to go then for this second half. There is a change in this second half. One for Na Fianna at least, because Fergal Brannock, wearing number 24, has come on. And he's taking up a position right now on the St Jude's 45-metre line. I
think it's Tom Gleeson that has made way. So Fergal, nippy player, will be looking to get on ball and take his man on. He's quite athletic and fast. And it'd be interesting to see, like we said at the start, if Sean Curry is anyway fit, he'll be looking to get game time into him, and he's one of the big talents coming through Dublin Hurling.
Well, everybody's ready. We're just actually missing the officials who are just coming through from the church end themselves. They've had their cup on tea or whatever else they've needed to do at half time. So 10 points to 8 the situation. Donald Burke with 6 points, 5 of them from frees. The man who Na Fianna have relied on so much for his shot-taking ability. There's going to be, I think, another change for Na Fianna as well, by the looks of it. No, actually, it's just pointing out Fergal Brannock is now on the pitch for this second half, as was being pointed out by Paul O'D. So he's on. He's in the red helmet, wearing number 24. And we're just about ready to go with St Jude's attacking the church end in this second half from right to left, as we're seeing it and as you're seeing it. Umpires are racing into position, and then the ball can come in, and this second half can get underway for a spot in the semi-finals. The draw for that to take place tomorrow evening after tomorrow's 2 subsequent matches. Here's Fergal Brannock having a pop straight away with his first attempt, and it's been stopped. Well, he was so close to a score. But it was well denied.
Immediate impact from Fergal there. Did great, and just like we said, he's a very fast player, and might have been disappointed he didn't get the point first time around, but I'm sure Donald won't make any mistakes here.
Well, he hasn't tended to so far. Donald Burke with 6 points in that first half. So here he comes, ready to go. Shot from the 65, lots of power and pace and accuracy too. Nothing wrong with that at all, and it's 11 points to 8, and Donald Burke makes it 7 now.
Yeah, normal service has resumed for Donald.
It never ended. So it's a 3-point advantage, and that's the biggest lead that they've had since the 7th minute. They had started brilliantly. It's a good puck out by Ross O'Reilly, the free one by Mark McGuire, and they've got chances here now.
Yeah, soft free to give away there. I think Donald Ryan was just kind of pulling his man back, and again Danny will take this free, and again probably not the quickest start to the first half that we wanted. 2 frees to slow things down, but just looking at the matchups up there again, is Rushy is still picking up Danny, and has to be said maybe is getting the better of that duel so far. That Danny from play has been quiet so far.
So Danny Sutcliffe is 3 points so far, all from frees. And remember, there have been a couple that have fallen short, long range ones, and then a very scoreable one which was hit wide late in the first half. And that one early in the second half has been pulled to the left and wide again, and that's 8 wides against St Judes now.
Yeah, story of the day for Judes is the wides are killers, and of course the repercussions are the point doesn't go on the scoreboard, but it is a drain on your team's energy as well.
What an absolute frustration for them, and it's been well claimed by the puck out. Shane Barrett receiving from John O'Tracy's long puck towards the edge of the St Jude's D, and just trying to burrow through, dig it out. Mark McGuire and Jerry McManus. It's not come through for either of them yet. It's not come through to anybody cleanly yet. Maybe it will towards Sean Baxter. He's trying to get the stick onto it. On the deck there is Mark McGuire, the St Jude's centre half back, and it hasn't come out towards him, but it has come out towards the Fianna. Little fingertip on it by Danny Sutcliffe. That could have been critical, but it hasn't turned out that way. It's been picked up here by Fergal Brannock. He's got a lot of support. Brannock has just managed to flick it up the sideline, and it's gone out eventually. And the end of a frenetic period of play in which St Judes could have gotten away with it, and the Fianna could have scored again, and in the end neither did.
Yeah, Judes did well there to make it a dogfight and turn the ball over. Jeremy McManus again on Donald Burke hasn't left his side all game. And keeping Donald Burke quiet as much as anyone can keep him quiet.
Well, we have the hashtag in the corner of your screen, which you can use on Twitter to give your opinions on the game. Down on the sideline, Joe McManus, the goal scorer against Lucan Sarsfields, one of the 2 goal scorers that they had, just waiting to get this one back into play from the sideline. Waiting in the centre is Damon McLaughlin in the middle in front of goal. It's not the only one, but it's a short one. It's too short. It might yet be perfect for Fianna and Breen, who scored those 2 excellent points in the first half. John Carthy trying to come and claim again, and it's a nice strike on the turn. That is a beautiful score by Kevin Lahiff, and that's his first of this quarter-final. 11 points to 9.
Really good score. You could see his pace to get down, win the ball and throw it over the shoulder. So great score from Judes, and Judes again just bringing the energy and the intensity so far.
They've had to, and whether Na Fianna feel that they've been slightly under par, that might be an over par shot. It's just gone to the right and wide. I make that only their 2nd wide of the entire contest, their first of the second half, and they'd only won for the entirety of the first half, which is quite some going.
Yeah, uncharacteristic from Donald, but a tough shy out on the sideline and did well to even make the space. So Na Fianna won't mind them wides. They've been quite clinical so far and have nailed 100% of the frees. So from that point of view, Na Fianna will be happy, but just trying to get more people in the game. Like Shane Barrett winning an early puck out there was great to see him, and hopefully he can continue that.
On McHugh down and receiving attention. Hammer back up, back on, ready to resume again right in the middle. Chance for the puck out from Ross O'Reilly. Went for the short one again towards Rob Hardy down the middle. Little flick down towards the 45. It's Owen McLaughlin, and Owen McLaughlin over carrying.
Yeah, and credit to Paul O'D there. He's feeling worse for wear after that hit. Owen McLaughlin's a big fella, but O'D did well to stand him up and win the free, and that's a valuable score for Na Fianna.
Well, it's a great position for it. 7 points so far for Donald Burke, who's top scored in each of his games so far, but that'll tend to be the way these days for the free takers. Slightly right of centre. It's a still day. A little damp underfoot. Just was walking the pitch earlier. Not too soggy. It's still firm, and that's a firm shot. It's a really good point.
Yeah, Paulo D just down, receiving a bit of treatment. I think maybe he could be winded after that shoulder and limping slightly. So Nafina will be hoping to get him right as much as possible. And interestingly, we're just noticing that the sweeper on both sides seems to have gone, and Paulo D is pushed up right the pitch and is now in the forwards.
The usual plethora of switches on the pitch mid-game. Here's Joe McManus, chance to break on the turn up towards 25 from the Nafina goal. That's a gorgeous one. Joe McManus puts it over the top. It's his first score of this contest, and it's down to a 2-point game again. It's 12 points to 10.
Yeah, first score from play, but he's been lively and has won a few frees so far, so he'll be happy to get his name on the score sheet there and keep Judes ticking over.
Again, quick puck out by John O'Tracy, and a nice break it was down the middle. Opportunity. Connor Kelly just overflung it. It was caught up in the Nafina 65, and there's another dogfight coming here. Who's going to come out with it? In the end, nobody. Mark Ryan wasn't satisfied that the ball was going to come out anyway quickly.
Yeah, just a loose palm pass from Connor Kelly there breaks
messy.
down things, and Nafina just aren't their usual fluid self there.
They're trying to be fluid here, though. It's up towards Colin Curry. Curry with a chance to receive and to turn inside, facing Owen Grant. Good high shot by Curry, but he's pulled it to the right and wide. Nafina's third wide of the game. St Judes have 8. Quick puck out by Ross O'Reilly. No time being wasted at all by either goalkeeper. That's the manner of hurling these days at all levels, and it's come through towards the half-time substitute. Fergal Brannock just loses out. Chance for Kevin Burke to receive and win the free.
Yeah, it looks like Donald's taking it. It's a long way out. He's been on song with him so far, so he'll fancy himself.
Mark Ryan doing a little bit of writing as well right now.
Yeah, I think yellow card for a high tackle. Don't think it was intentional, but just caught him in the face guard with his hand as he was passing. By
Fionn O'Rian Breen, and that is the third yellow card against St Judes in this. So, well, this is a monstrous distance out in his own 45. Donald Burke, it's a still old day. There's a slight breeze going his way. There's a stonking long shot going his way as well. And he scored from way closer to his own goal than the opposition's. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and if you just look at the contrast between the two, that Judes had 3 frees from similar position and no scores from, and Nafina 1 free and 1 score from that position.
Fabulous long point. Fabulous long range strike, and almost hit back with interest for another one to make it 14 to 10. The shot wide from Shane Barrett in the end. That's now 4 wides against them. That one a trail to the left and wide this time, and it's been well gathered. Chance to break up for Fergal Brannock once more. It'll come loose just wide of Shane Baxter. Tap forward. Here goes Danny Sutcliffe beyond the 65, and it's a free to St Judes. Little cut across the body.
Yeah, harsh. Yeah, you wouldn't often see them given, but good battle between Liam Rush and Danny. They're 2 very physical players and would know each other very well from marking each other in training. So Danny just getting on top there, winning a free.
Well, can he put the disappointment of the last one right at the end of the first half behind him here? Probably, mentally, already has. Can he do it in the scoreboard as well? This to make it a 2-point game again from around 55 out. Face towards the church end in Donecarney, and that's a lovely point. So he's got 4 now, Danny Sutcliffe in this. Yeah, 13-11.
And Jude still right in this game. They'll be very happy with that. They'll try to keep it as competitive as they can and take it to the last 10-15 minutes.
2 points between them. It's a good ball under a lot of pressure. Colin Curry managed to dig it out. Donald Ryan is on the charge. Ryan up towards the 45. Just breaks down just shy of the D, but the ball carried on the break. He couldn't though, and it'll come loose maybe towards Colin Curry again, up against John Carty. Little flick by Carty, clever for Alan Connolly. Conley held up, wins the free for St Judes. They're still not far away. They're only 2 points down in a game of no goals, but many points to date.
Yeah, all this will give Judes energy, and again, maybe they're shouting at to do it quick here.
And they've done that with Rob Hardy. There's just no chance to take a breather these days, is there, in any game? And that's another free, and that's a free in this time for St Judes. Given against Liam Rush.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see a free there now, if I'm being honest.
Well, he's still down, I can tell you, Danny Sutcliffe. And there's names going in the book by the looks of it. Yeah, Liam Rush has been booked. It's the first yellow card against Na Fianna in this.
Yeah, it might have been a free for consistent fouling rather than the actual foul there, but Jude's lucky enough to get that one now. But maybe I'm just the bias in the backs club here that you want to see a bit of free flowing hurling.
Never accuse you of bias. Danny Sutcliffe has the free. 4 points so far in this contest, all from frees, and there could have been a couple more as well. So Sutcliffe ready now. This to make it a 1 point game. Crisp strike, got that right, and he's on 5 points, so we're down to the minimum margin. Na Fianna's lead is 1 point, 13-12.
What's really interesting to look at is the movement on the Na Fianna puck out. Is they all drop really deep inside the just nearly the small square rectangle, and they're making sprints out in 4 or 5 directions.
Coming loose on the edge of the D. Chance for it to come out for Kieran Mangan. He's just missed out. Opportunities here, and the break for Paul O'D. And O'D making his way towards goal. He's got AJ Murphy in support. Forced wide. And wide is where it ends up. 5 against Na Fianna now in this game, and 4 of those coming in this second half. And Na Fianna's lead is just a solitary point now.
I think it just unexpectedly opened up for Paul O'D there. He didn't expect the space open in front of him, and normally he'd be quite cool and composed in them situations.
I wonder if he could have gone for that himself.
Yeah. I just think it just opened up at the last minute, and he didn't expect for the space open in front of him. But what has to be said is Jude's probably conceded a lot of goals in previous games this year, and they've really shut that down. And Rob Hardy in his sweeper there is helping that.
Sean Baxter off and Kieran Murphy on for Na Fianna. With 12 minutes gone in this second half, that's the second change for Na Fianna, second substitution they've had in the game. A little bit of pulling back, so it'll be a free for them. Led at half time by 10-8. If you've joined us late, they stormed into a brilliant early lead, 6 points to 1, but then St Judes brought it back 7 points each, 8 points apiece. Had a good free opportunity just before half-time to take the lead. That was missed. They haven't led yet. They led once through Fionn O'Rian Brian. Gorgeous strike from the left-hand side. This could be a gorgeous strike. Hugging the 45 from Donald Burke. He's already hit one of these over the bar. How about this one? Just dropped to the left and wide. But you can't fault the ambition at least.
No. Little bit of off the ball. I saw it there.
Ger McManus is down. Ger McManus is down for St Judes.
I happened to see it. I was watching Donald run from the free, and it was just a coming together. It really wasn't. He might have got it in the head, but really wasn't a massive amount in it.
Well, depends how that coming together is interpreted. And Mark Ryan is walking backwards, looking for his linesman. His linesman was way off the ball too, trying to quieten down another little set to. So when you say coming together, just a couple of men walking to each other, or was there a bit of force involved?
A small bit. I think maybe he might have been trying to shield in the ball, but maybe Ger, who was a tough fella, wouldn't go down now unless he was injured. Just got it in the ear. But I'd say the ref will play on here and get on with the game.
Well, they're having a fair old chat between each other, and that is a long conversation that they're having. Ger McManus, he picked up a caution himself just before half-time, picked up a yellow card in that. He's had his word with the linesman, and doesn't look as if anything's going to come out of that at all. It was just a couple of big men just running into each other, and no more than that. So it'll be resuming with the puck out. And Na Fianna with the lead with quarter of an hour of normal time to go, 13-12. There's lots of space for Kieran McLaughlin down this near side if he could be spotted, and he wasn't spotted by Ross O'Reilly, the Judes goalkeeper. That was a nice block by AJ Murphy, but it didn't quite get the reward that his quick thinking might have deserved.
Yeah, he's working hard in there. He's AJ certainly a live wire. Will work very hard for the time he's on the pitch, and just looking on to see now what the impact the subs will have. That Na Fianna will be looking to spring a few lads off the bench and hopefully get an impact. Like Matthew Oliver played Dublin under 21 underage, so
chance for Danny Sutcliffe from open play. The angle's in his favour. A beautiful score to tie it up at 13 points apiece. Great score, and that's the water break.
Yeah, just Danny sending Rushy to the shops there. Nice little dummy, and then the composure to stick it over, and that's one he'll certainly remind Rushy of later, I'm sure.
Absolutely gorgeous tight angled shots. 13 points apiece. We're level for the third time in the game. 7 points each, 8 points each, and 13 points each. And Danny Sutcliffe 6 points now, 5 from frees, 1 from play, and that has been absolutely terrific. Let's take a look at some of the main moments of the game to date. And the free taking continues to be top quality for Donald Burke. Don't think he's missed one yet. That was a lovely strike on the turn by John Carty, if I remember, I think it was. But anyway, this is Donald Burke. He just doesn't miss those, and he hasn't yet. 9 points for him so far in the game. This was a great burst forward by Joe McManus and a lovely score. And John O'Tracy was tempted to bat that one back, but what about the distance of some of Donald Burke's frees here, especially that one?
Yeah, that's a monster free and great scores for Na Fianna. That, you know, there's some that you might try to keep the ball competitive there, like we said with Judes, but if you have someone like Donald in your team just to nail them, it gives your team such a lift.
Well scored those two by Danny Sutcliffe, and then that one just before the water break. This was a lovely break forward. Now I was just thinking here, there's a chance of a shot on goal there from Paul O'D, but he decided not to go for it. He decided to go wide, and in the end that was a magnificent score. The last moment that we saw from Danny Sutcliffe is 6 points of the game, and the ball is in, and we're underway again with 16 minutes played in this second half, and we're dead level at 13 points apiece, and you wouldn't want to call a winner at this stage. I'm not going to ask you. Maybe I will in a few minutes though, Owen. That's a good one. That'll drop around the 45. We've Sean Burke on the pitch as well now, remember, and that's gone against them for the pull back on Joe McManus, and a big chance for St Judes to hit the front with 14 minutes to go.
Another free one for Joe McManus. He's causing trouble in there, and Daniel put this over. And for Jude to take the lead coming into the last quarter here is great, and this will be exactly what Jude would have planned before the game.
Danny Sutcliffe, 6 already. This for the lead. It's seventh heaven. It's 7 points for Danny Sutcliffe, 6 from frees, that glorious one from play, and St Judes have the lead for only the second time in the game.
Yeah, and worrying signs for Na Fianna that in past they've always had this talent and these players that have won a massive amount underage, and they just never were able to follow through at senior level, and they always would have a massive amount talked about them at the start of the year, but just...
And Sean Curry is coming on to replace, by the looks of it, Owen McHugh.
Tom Gleeson, I think, Will, is it?
Yeah, well,
Tom
I can
Gleeson.
see Owen McHugh. Owen McHugh's coming off there, number 14, and Sean Curry's on. And Tom Gleeson has come on as well now. Tom Gleeson wearing 10 on the pitch. I think it's a double change. Tom Gleeson definitely wasn't on the pitch at the start of the second half, because we haven't seen him.
We'll have a look and confirm. I don't see Sean Curry yet. Anyway, I know Tom Gleeson has come on for Owen McHugh, but we'll confirm that and keep you updated.
He's wearing 10. He's definitely on the pitch. We'll keep an eye out for Sean Curry. If we mention him, you know he's on. But at the moment, Tom Gleeson, we can confirm definitely is, and I think you're right on that. I think it's a single change and not a double change. So if you're a fan of Sean Curry, you'll have to hang on. Well, they have the free anyway, and it's Donald Burke who's ready to take this with 9 points already. And this is well within the range that we've seen so far. In the 3 quarters on hour of hurling we've seen to date. He's let fly again. He's got the range, but it's just gone to the right and wide. That's 7 wides now for Na Fianna, 8 for Judes, and 7 of those have come in this second half.
Yeah, and that's a big shift that I don't think they even had a wide in the first half. So a big turnaround of scores there.
Damon McLaughlin trying to get on the end of it. It's been gathered by Peter Feeney. Good little flick up. Here's Kieran Murphy. Chance to make the stride up. Trying to keep it in play as well. It's a Jude's ball.
Yeah, another chance for Judes to push 2 ahead, and this is all the longer Judes can keep ahead of this, the more energy they'll get, and the harder Nafina will find to get into the game.
Well, Nafina with the thumping league win over Ballyboden, 22 points to 17. They get the silverware there. They trail here by a point. 11 minutes of normal time to go. Danny Sutcliffe with 7 points so far. This an attempt at his 8th.
Yeah, I can see Sean Curry on the sideline now warming up, so hopefully he'll be introduced now and make an impact. And he's the kind of player now I'd say will be given a free licence to drift wherever he can in the forwards and try get on ball, and lovely jink and turn the pace, so hopefully he'll be making a big impact for Nafina.
Here's Sutcliffe with the lift and the strike, and the Temple Oak fans behind that knew it was over.
Yeah, and that's the other thing worth mentioning, Will, is that the crowd seems to be very much Temple Oak and Jews, that there seems to be very little Nafina crowd there that we can hear anyway.
Chance to resume, changes coming. There's one for St Judes arriving now, making himself known to Mark Ryan, and that man is Manus Malone wearing number 19. Looks like being their first change of the game.
Yeah, I think the change there is Sean Curry coming on for AJ Murphy, and Sean Curry's gone in straight into full forward, but I'd be surprised if he stays there. I say he'll go drifting.
So that's 3 changes now for Nafina, and off is Fionn O'Rian Breen for St Judes, with Manus Malone taking his spot on the pitch. So that's the change for St Judes. Their first one, Nafina have made 3, and here come Nafina again with Colin Curry. Chance for Curry. Great range, beautiful score, his 3rd point of the game.
Yeah, the standout performer for Nafina, I'd say, and one of the only ones bringing the fight to Judes. That, as a whole, the Nafina forward line will be disappointed with how they've played so far today anyway.
Well, that 2-point lead that Judes had, which has now been cut down to 1, was the biggest lead they'd had in the whole game, but they can retain it here because there was a bit of stick pulling. Spotted by Mark Ryan, a free around the 45, and another chance for Danny Sutcliffe to add to his tally.
Yeah, just a bit of tussling before the ball, and maybe got a bit too aggressive before the ball came in, and Danny with another point here and another chance to push Judes ahead. If Judes can maintain this cushion, 2-point cushion, going into the last 10 minutes in additional time, they're in an extremely good place here.
So Danny Sutcliffe, chance for his 6 points of this second half to make it a 2-point lead again. Oh, he hasn't though. It's another miss. That's 9 wides for St Judes now, and he's had a couple that have been very gettable in this game, which have ended up wide.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's something we've questioned so far in this whole championship. Is Fionn O'Rian Breen is there, and he would be a more well-known free taker. So interesting to see if he goes on to them yet.
Well, it's been pucked back up by Donal Ryan. Came up towards Shane Barrett, and that is a free in, and the notebook might be out again. The notebook is out again. Little bit of dragging back.
Yeah, great play from Shane Barrett there. He's so strong and direct running, and as a Jude's full back line there, it's very hard to do anything but foul and make sure he doesn't get in on goal. And that's a 2-point swing from Jude's missing the free and Donald Burke scoring this, that it goes from being 2 up to a level game.
Kieran Mangan's number noted, but no yellow card. Here comes the free over the top from Donald Burke, and that's 10 points for Donald Burke now. And that's all square, 15 points apiece. Just about 7 minutes to go. Long puck out coming here from Ross O'Reilly. Remember, Fionn O'Rian Breen has gone off at this stage. She's been substituted. It's knocked in towards the edge of the D, and it's running towards the man who's replaced him now, Manus Malone. And there's a lot hanging in his shoulders in the last 10 minutes or so, but it's been really well dug out here. And Nafina have made it work again brilliantly. Defensively, what a grab that is by Colin Curry. He's on the charge. He's looking for point number 4. We're right behind that one. That is a glorious score by Colin Curry. And now it's Nafina who lead by 16-15.
Yeah, he's nearly single-handedly keeping Nafina in this, but very worryingly, Sean Curry has hit the deck and unsure whether it was something done off the ball or a twist of a knee or an ankle, but he looks to be in a good bit of discomfort.
Well, he's only just barely on the pitch as well, remember. There was that really great charge forward, and Colin Curry with the great break. He picked it up deep in his own territory, and on he came. He picked it up just around his own 65-metre line, and there was that catch as well, that brilliant catch, which he claimed to launch it in. He was on the deck, by the way, I can tell you, just as that shot was coming in. So whatever had happened to him had just happened to him. But he's up and just about okay again.
Ref isn't doing anything, so whatever happened, umpires didn't see it or didn't think there was an awful lot in it.
Well, he went down and he's back up, and play is resumed as well, and it's with Kieran Mangan, and it's a 1-point lead for Nafina with just about 5 minutes of normal time to go. What a brilliant block. The attempt by Damon McLaughlin didn't get very far. It was fabulous for him. It's teed up by Owen McLaughlin again. And Owen McLaughlin has the pop. And Owen McLaughlin has the score. It's his second excellent point of the game. One in each half.
And both have come at massive times that he's now drawn and brought Jude's level in both occasions with 2 big scores. And having a really, he's been moved on to Colin Curry now in an attempt to quieten him down.
16 points apiece. The sides are level now for the 5th time in the game. It's been a good, fast, frenetic one, this. It's not quite reached the stage of next score wins, but it'll definitely be a decent advantage. Kevin Lahafe trying to produce the next score, and he has done from a long way out. What a beautiful point for his second.
Yeah, really good score, and the ball just hopping around Nafina's hands there. Donald had a chance to get it, and Paul had a chance to get it, and Jude's is punished with a great score there.
Well, they lead again by 17 points to 16, but maybe not for long. It's been really well gathered here. The opportunity for Colin Curry. Curry just missing out. Extra time and penalties if needed.
Yeah, Colin did well there again to win the ball. Great dummy, and then Judes just swallowed him up in around the D there. And Danny's going in full forward now. Maybe this might be a long ball on top of him.
Well, we'll see. Remember the hashtag, go ahead, DSHA. If you want to chat to someone else online about the game, there's a lot to chat about, I'll tell you. 33 points we've seen so far. Jude's leading 17 to 16. 3.5 minutes of normal time to go, plus stoppages. It might not end there. Extra time and penalties, remember, if needed. It's been launched long by Ross O'Reilly, dropping in the opposition D. Looking to duck in for it is Kevin Burke, and Burke was caught high, and that's a free. Joe McManus, the offender, and Joe McManus is getting a talking to now from Mark Ryan.
Yeah, John will come to take this. I say he'll be put long into one of the corners there.
And Joe McManus has the yellow card. So John O'Tracy, there's only one place where this... What? We're all wrong. It's short. Yeah. It's Donal Ryan. You put me asunder. Donal Ryan has hit this one long instead. It's with Donal back. Back, hanging around the 13. Tight angled attempt. That's a nice block. Lovely block by Joe McManus.
Yeah, who has done extremely well. He normally is the go-to man for Judes to man mark, and Ger has marked big, strong players like John Heatherton so far and has done well, and now is a different task. And Donald Burke has also done well. So Sean Curry, after recovering from his mishap a few minutes ago, has the sideline cut, going in long and high. That's not a bad attempt, but it's just gone to the right and wide, and it's 8 wides each now, considering that St Judes had 7 in a row pretty much in the first half. And coming into the last 2 minutes of normal time, Nafina will be worried here, and will have to come up with something special to come out of this with a win. I think Matthew Oliver now replacing Paul O'D, and hopefully making an impact, like we said earlier. Has played for Dublin under 21 level, so a good player to be able to bring on in the last few minutes of a game. Matthew Oliver on for Paul O'D for Nafina, and Jesse Kennedy wearing 17 has come on for St Judes as well. So both number 17s have made their way
on for this. Still no clear breaking ball. It might fall for Joe McManus for St Judes, who lead by 1. Came loose, and that is a Nafina ball. And Manus Malone darted all the way across towards the touchline to try and make something happen for Judes there, but it didn't.
Yeah, he's been the man that they brought on with about 10, 15, 20 minutes to go in every game, and has been able to make an impact. And you can see he's just on to try cause a bit of chaos, and something might come from.
Jesse Kennedy currently picking up Kieran Murphy as well, who had been on this near side, the St Jude's left wing, and now on the right. That's hit long towards the near side, and it's out.
Yeah, and Kieran Magden again did well. Tough ball for Sean Curry to win, but Kieran Magden did well to shepherd it out, and has to be said, he has done well today so far.
So here's the line ball to come from Owen McLaughlin. We're in the last minute of normal time, but expect a few minutes of stoppages at the very least. We've had a few in this second half, no doubt about that. Owen McLaughlin with a chance to cut it long towards the 65. That's really well claimed by Manus Malone, the sub, but he's been turned over quickly. It's been gathered by Peter Feeney. Chance to launch it long towards the 45. It'll be picked up here by Joe McManus, who's done a great job. Little flick across, and it's just gone through the hand of Alan Connolly, who's found himself in a bit of trouble and suddenly surrounded by a lot of yellow and blue. And somehow they've still got possession. Chance to wick it along long by Owen McLaughlin. Half blocked down, but it's still squeezed towards their own St Jude 65 metre line. But now there's room for Donal Ryan. Good burst. Chance to tie it up. Right on the arc. He's gone for it, Ryan. A brilliant solo.
Wide.
But it's wide.
That's a killer. I probably should have slipped it to Colin Curry earlier. That Nafina should know Colin's the man in form and should be trying to feed him at all costs.
He went for it himself and it was hanging and hanging.
Yeah,
it took a while.
Did well to get through, but just if he'd slipped it initially.
Here's the long puck out by Ross O'Reilly. Judes are hanging on by 17 points to 16. Into stoppage time, and quite a bit of it, no doubt about that. They've got the line ball as well. They've got a chance to try and upset things even more. Joe McManus has burst across, pointing feverishly. He wants this one played in. It's going to be Manus Malone who's coming over to take this one.
Yeah, and they'll slow things down as much as possible. Manus will be in no rush to try take this, and hopefully Judes can keep this in play and not put it out over the sideline for John O'Trace to have a ball ready to go again.
It's going to be Danny Sutcliffe who was going to take it, but it's Manus Malone instead, with Sutcliffe waiting inside the square. He's not the only one. Dermot McLaughlin in there as well, and Joe McManus is dropping in well, trying to get the flick on, and he did, but the whistle had gone against Danny Sutcliffe.
Yeah,
just inside the square.
Nafina will want to pick up the pace here and try.
We're 90 seconds over. Nafina 16 points, St Jude's 17 points. St Jude's who've reached 2 of the last 7 finals, beaten in both their first finals. Nafina with the 5 senior football titles and none yet in senior hurling. 4 times junior championship winners. Stopped well here by Kieran Mangan, but there's a yellow tide that's coming. And it's fallen invitingly here towards Kieran Murphy, trying to tie it up, and he has his first point of the game, and it's all square at 17 points each.
Yeah, and Colin Curry again, the man to win possession and give the hand pass out, and Kieran Murphy then to put the ball over. Great score, really good score, and a very exciting finish.
Injury in the middle as well. Extra time is looking a closer possibility.
Yeah, there wasn't a massive amount of stoppages there in the second half, so I can't imagine there being too long left. We don't have the advantage of seeing the scoreboard coming up at the time there, but I can't imagine there being too long left to play.
It could literally be next score wins. We've played just about 2 minutes 40 seconds beyond the hour. Extra time is beckoning feverishly in the first of the quarterfinals. 5 p.m. It's Craig Kieran against Lucan Sarsfields. Next dropping ball could be critical, and St Jude's have a free.
Yeah, what a catch from Danny. Come the hour, come the man. Just rose up and a great catch and to win the free there. Great play from Danny.
Glorious.
At the risk again, repeat myself, I'm just not sure where there was a free there that he kind of caught the ball and landed on the ground. But look, Judes won't care at all. Danny will score here, and much the same story as the Vincent's game earlier the year, a late free to win it.
But first he has to score. He's got 8 already. There's something that Mark Ryan is investigating inside, and it has been investigated now. Danny Sutcliffe, this to potentially win. Deep in the 4th minute of stoppage time, all square, 17 points each for a spot in the semi-finals for St Judes. He hasn't hit it right! He hasn't hit it right! It's cut down by Conor Kelly. Chance for Fianna to come away with this one now. He's with Liam Rush. Hand passed across towards John O'Tracy. What a great opportunity to win the game for St Judes, to get into the semi-final, and it just hasn't gone right for them. And it's Fianna breaking right down in the middle in front of goal, and now they've got a free with Shane Barrett going down. It's a big moment for them to win it.
Huge moment, Wales. Just absolutely huge turn of play. You couldn't write this. Danny just took his eye off the ball while he's hitting there. You think something like pressure wouldn't affect the player as Danny, who has been there and done it all, just maybe not as comfortable in the frees as he might have liked to have been, maybe not enough practice coming in that he wasn't hitting them consistently with Dublin, but he himself will be very disappointed with that. And then the other end, Shane Barrett, again, great winning possession, won the free, charged through, and arguably 2 frees on him there, so a high pressure free on Donald now. We can. It's easy to say from up here, but it's these are tough frees to score.
Wow, what a turnaround. Just as Judes were ready to win it, Fianna can get the victory here, maybe. Again, referee Mark Ryan has had a little chat with his linesman. No further action. Here comes the free. This could be the potential winner. Donald Burke has got 10 already. Number 11 on the way from number 11, and he's got it too. 2 Judes have time to try and force extra time here. Play's been halted up. There's something else that the referee spotted, and it'll have to be done all over again. (18-17) in what's been a remarkable game. The sides have been level 6 times. Will they be level again once more to send it into 20 minutes of extra time? All jostled around the Fianna 45. Breaking ball is going to be vital and maybe match deciding. It's come loose towards Danny Sutcliffe. He had support from Jesse Kennedy. It's another big chance. It's a free for St Judes in front of goal, just about 45 out, and Danny Sutcliffe has another great chance, and there's been a bit of descent, and it's been brought 10 metres further on. Ho ho ho!
Yeah, massively exciting. Maybe I think everyone might be a bit happier that this free is brought forward, make it slightly easier on Danny, but again, look, like Danny missed the last free, but he was the man to win it and win this free as well, so Judes wouldn't be in this position without him.
This is it. Danny Sutcliffe to tie it up. Eyes kept on the ball this time. Has to get this right. He had to get that right. He has. 9 points for Danny Sutcliffe, all square, 18 points each.
Yeah, and I hate to keep repeating myself, just not massively sure where the
extra time.
There, but
extra time.
Massively
18 points game. All.
Yeah, look, real treat, probably unexpected to everyone outside the Judes camp. I say Judes were very quietly confident of an ambush here, and they'll be delighted with that. Coming into the next 20 minutes, you still have to fancy Fianna that they have legs, they've lads off the bench. Judes kind of looked tired there, but doing extremely well to be in the game at this stage, and they will be full of belief over there in their huddle at the moment.
Fianna will probably think they should have won this, and St Judes will probably be thinking that they should have won this. It's an extraordinary game. So many major moments in it. I mean, Danny Sutcliffe had a few frees, some went over, some which may have been match winning, did not. Let's take a look at some of the main moments of the second half here, and this is one of those Sutcliffe frees. That's the one right in front of the post which was scored. This was the narrow angle with this coming in around the 45-metre line, very tight angle. A lot of the Judes fans behind there immediately knew that that was on the way over the bar. Donald Burke has scored 11 points so far, and his contribution has been absolutely fantastic. This is the break by Colin Curry, by the way. A glorious point.
Yeah, Colin has been the standout player from the Fianna, as we said already. He's been really on form. The free from Danny at the end to draw it, I'd say, has ruined a lot of people's accumulators over the weekend. And the big talk around Dublin was that Na Fianna were going to walk away with this, and Judes obviously weren't part of that script. 2
great points in a row. That Kevin Lahiff, before it by Owen McLaughlin, and then that one that thundered in towards goal, hit by Sutcliffe again. They've both had their chances to win this game inside the hour, beyond the hour as we've gone now. Kieran Murphy with his first point of the game. That was a vital one. That made it 17 points apiece. And then after Danny Sutcliffe had his big moment to win the game, here came Na Fianna then, a big free in front of goal, and Burke scoring his 11th for 18 points to 17, and this to tie it up, 18 points each from Danny Sutcliffe. And that's it. That was the second half. What a second half.
And for Judes, who have been extremely reliant on Danny to get scores in pass, to be in drawn with Na Fianna full time with a scoreline of 18 points, and Danny have only gotten 1 from play, is a great credit to the work rate and team ethics that they have in Judes.
Worth asking you who you think's going to win at this stage?
Yeah, I still think Na Fianna. I said Na Fianna at the start. I was definitely proven wrong by the amount I thought they were going to come with it, but I just think Na Fianna have class, and they have talent all over the pitch, and that will come good in the end.
It's only a brief huddle that is allowed here. Remember the hashtag Go Ahead DSHA for these Go Ahead Senior A Hurling Championship quarterfinals. All 4.5 at this stage now, live on Dubs TV this weekend. 5 p.m. Crave Kieran against Lucan Sarsfields we've got for you, or maybe sometime slightly after 5 p.m. at this stage. They're already here and watching this and enjoying this slightly. Tomorrow 2 o'clock, Kilmacud Crooks against St Ulver Plunkett's Own Rua, and then at 4 Ballyboden St Enda's against the defending champions Cola, who are going for 3 in a row this year. A rematch of last year's final. As finals go, this actually wouldn't be a bad one. This is worthy enough for a big occasion anyway. 36 points, lots of scores, and we could have had a lot more because it's nine wides each as well.
Yeah, you could argue both teams had get out of jail cards there. That Judes with the free, arguably. No arguing about it, a very scoreable free should have been scored, and Na Fianna then to score, and then Judes to get another bite at the cherry. So both teams can be disappointed with aspects of the game, but at the same time count themselves lucky to be here.
There's no doubt about that. We'll run through the scores so far as well. Donald Burke has got 11 points so far, 10 of those from frees. Con Curry's got 4 from play, 1 each for Peter Feeney and Martin Quilty, and there's 1 more from Kieran Murphy, the tight angled one to a round off play. Last score from play in the 66 minutes for Na Fianna. As for St Judes, 9 points for Danny Sutcliffe, 8 from frees, 2 points each for Fionn O'Rian Brian and Kevin Lahiff, and a point each for John Carty, Joe McManus, Dermot McLaughlin, and Owen McLaughlin, who's got 2 points. 2 excellent points as well.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the subs that have come off in the second half there come back on. Maybe AJ and Paul O'D and maybe Fiona O'Rian from Judes might come back onto the pitch, because these are lads that you want on the pitch come crunch time, and Fiona with 2 good points from play. So that's it. Modern hurling, that's what it's all about, is scores and forwards win games. So they're going to need to get their firepower off the bench onto the pitch.
Well, modern hurling it is. Another toss being required between the 2 captains, and Na Fianna look like they've won that one.
Yeah, Na Fianna shooting into the car park stand. Probably not a massive factor. There's no wind here. Couldn't be. It's kind of grey and overcast, but no wind, so perfect conditions.
Just looking around to see the extra bodies. Sean Curry, Kieran Murphy are still on. I presume for the moment Matthew Oliver still is as well from a Na Fianna point of view. St Judes, Jesse Kennedy, Manus Malone both came on. There's an extra name in the St Judes bench, by the way, Kieran Hogan, wearing 30 if we see him during extra time. He might be required now, he might not have been if the game had been a 60-minute affair. It's all happening behind Mark Ryan's back right now. He's probably aware of that. Ball's in. Extra time is on. It's 10 minutes each way for a spot in the semi-finals, and the draw for the semi-finals will be after the last of the quarterfinals tomorrow evening. So keep watching. It'll be after 6 p.m. tomorrow on Dubs TV. That's a tight angle one. Is that the lead for Judes again? That is a glorious strike. A brilliant point. It's 19-18. And that was an absolutely gorgeous score.
Yeah, great score from Judes. Great to get to start like that. And Fianna with a quick puck out here. Just
not wasting time. Sent up by Fergal Brannock. It's in a really good position too.
I can see one change there anyway, Will, is AJ Murphy's back on, and looks like Matthew Oliver has gone off.
That makes sense, definitely. So the lead point scored by Damon McLaughlin to make it 19-18 in the early seconds of extra time. That was a really good score too. It's good cut out that by Donald Burke to deny Alan Connolly. Might have another attempt at it. Short pass by Kevin Lahiff. It's tight and it's overcarried. Free to Fianna.
Yeah, just probably in two minds when to throw it up, and then already taking his touch on the hurl, and Donald Burke will I'm sure punish this. But a great game of hurling straight away. The energy and the tackling turnovers there is quite evident. Alan Connolly again with a good turnover and is driving forward. And to be fair to Judes, they're trying to play a good brand of hurling. They're not trying to hit the ball in aimlessly. They're trying to work it through the lines and score from wherever they can.
Who for you would be the most frustrated at this point, either side? A yellow card, by the way, against Kevin Burke.
I'd say Fianna are frustrated. They've probably should have pulled away by now, haven't performed to their own ability, and then some refereeing decisions going the wrong way from their point of view.
So Donald Burke, 11 points so far, and it will remain that way.
Yeah, and speaking of frustration, you can just see Donald slapping his hurl there, and Jeremy McManus has given very little change today. Has been very sticky to him.
That is now a 10th wide. They've had the only 65 of the game up to this point as well, which was scored, of course it was, by Donald Burke right at the start of the second half. It's a loose pass. Rob Hardy will snuff that one out. Remember, the second quarter-final is coming up immediately after this one. Crave Kieran against Lucan Sarsfields. Be launched away well, strong, long, up beyond the 45-metre line. Just went beyond Danny Sutcliffe on that occasion, but Sutcliffe has had a lot of help from Manus Malone there, and he's on the charge. It's tight up, comes back outside the 20 to try and get the angle. He was close to getting it. Even more than that, he has got it. Danny Sutcliffe, his 10th point of the game, and that, his second from play, was brilliant.
Brilliant again. That's some battle going on between Rushy and Danny there. The two of them are neck and neck, and Danny just got the better of that individual battle. Great score, and Donald Burke replying very quickly. And the common theme is the Fianna are banging the ball out as quick as they can and trying to get pace into this game.
There's no time being wasted with the puck outs at all. That's two glorious scores in the space of 20 seconds, and it's the leading scorers, the men who have been so reliable from the Dead Bulls so far today, who've scored two brilliant points, long range, from open play. Donald Burke and Danny Sutcliffe. That makes it 19 points for Fianna, 20 for St Judes. Opportunity for the game to be tied up again, and it's another free and another big chance for Donald Burke.
Yeah, just a high tackle from Jesse Kennedy, and that's a clear free in and one for Donald Burke to punish. And Kev Burke there, you can see the strength and size of them, that these players that have played underage for Dublin Minor and under 21, the gym and conditioning they've done is just unreal, and the size of them when you see these lads in person is unbelievable.
Yellow card against Jesse Kennedy for that challenge as well. 10 minutes aside in extra time, and if we're level at the end of it, it finishes on the day. We go to a penalty competition, and that's wide. The free from Donald Burke. That's 11 wides now in this game against Fianna, and Judes have 9, and remember, 7 of those were basically in the first half, and almost the first half of the first half. That's a loose one. That's a very loose one, long away by Kieran Mangan. He's got a good distance on that, and it's going to fall invitingly towards Joe McManus. McManus trying to bring it on, and it's open up on the edge of the Fianna D. Chance on the turn. Great strike by Danny Sutcliffe. That is a gorgeous point, and now he's got 11.
Yeah, things just not clicking for Fianna. Donald Burke with such an uncharacteristic mistake. Liam Rush probably unlucky not to get a free there, and Danny just another. He's really coming to life in this extra time.
Lovely point on the turn by Danny Sutcliffe, and immediately it's sent back out into open play. It's a 2-point lead for St Judes now. It's out. It's a line ball. It's been given towards Nafina, and wanted to take it quickly was Kevin Burke, and it wasn't allowed to, so it's brought forward 10 metres, turned into a free, and this is very scoreable now all of a sudden compared to what it was before.
Yeah, I don't think Judes thought it would be turned into a free. They were just trying to slow down the game, and emotions are running high, but another chance for Donald to rectify a few of the missed ones.
They just overdid it. So this to bring the sides level for the 8th time in the game. Well, not quite. Bring them 1 point away from that. It's still a 2-point game. There's one that he should have scored a few moments earlier. What about this one? Oh, it's the same again. It's another wide, pulled to the right, and that's 12 wides against Nafina now, and those 2 misses. Nafina would be level now.
Yeah, and maybe it's time to put Colin Curry on the freeze. That Donald, who started so well, it's just whatever has happened isn't clicking for him anymore. So Colin Curry is a fairly solid and reliable free taker. Maybe it's time for him to take over duty.
6 minutes into extra time, 4 minutes from half time in extra time. It's open up for Liam Rush. Good position for Rush. That's a fine half block down too. Brilliant by Joe McManus. Just the 1 point for him so far, but he's contributed a massive amount in this, and bodies flying across the way. It'll be a free. I think that one's against.
Is it Joe McManus he's talking to, or is it Danny? If it's Joe, or if it's Jer McManus, sorry, Jer could be in. No, it's Danny.
He was almost pointing across the pitch. Yeah, it's given against Danny Sutcliffe. That's his first yellow card. So Danny
he is talking to Jer as well, and this
could be trouble for him. He's already on a yellow card. They've 6 yellows already. Extra time it is, of course. Yeah, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's good news. Seen as a new game and all that.
Everyone can breathe a sigh of relief there that he gets a clean slate going into extra time. So his yellow card from the first half wouldn't have counted. Yeah, and Colin Curry did take over for Fujitsu's, but unfortunately, much the same as Donald, just not having much luck with them. And they really are scoreable frees now at this stage for the likes of calibre of these players. They really need to be scoring them.
So 13 wides against Nafina now. Across the whole game. And Judes haven't had a wide yet in extra time. Nafina breaking forward again. AJ Murphy now back on the pitch, coming back on for Matthew Oliver. He's ended up off the pitch, and the ball off the pitch as well, and it's a Judes one. They've taken it quickly, and it's just run through the grasp of Owen Grant, but there was nobody behind him sniffing and trying to drag it away, and he's found a way past Sean Curry. It's up towards Joe McManus. McManus not able to win it cleanly the first time of asking. Well claimed by Mark Maguire. Short little flick up towards Jesse Kennedy. That was really well reclaimed. Liam Rush skirting past 3 men. Lovely flick, strong flick, got a good distance onto that. It was very important for that to be stopped then by Mangan. He's done fabulously, and he's won the free as well.
Yeah, really, really good performance from Kieran Mangan, cornerback there. Just no fuss, no mess, and has been out in front a couple of times, and really, really good display from him.
Judes lead by 2.
Yeah, and whichever team comes out in the next 10 minutes, the losing team will be very frustrated that both teams have had chances to put the other team away and just haven't taken them.
There's another yellow card here, but obviously they all get reset entering extra time. And that one against AJ Murphy. That's 2 yellows in extra time for Nafina against Kevin Burke and against AJ Murphy. And Sutcliffe and Joe McManus have them from a St Jude's point of view. Anyway, important ball about to break, or is it? It eventually did. It was very well dug out by Peter Feeney to pick out Sean Burke. Managed to make it all the way back towards John O'Tracy though, and called into action at a time when he might not have been expecting that. But he dealt well with it. It's a good one. Launched forward. Now the foot race is on. AJ Murphy chasing after it. It's well covered by Kieran Mangan. Under a lot of pressure from Sean Curry. But recovered well and came away with it well. St Jude's, a lot of fluency from them. Oh, McLaughlin getting along, and now here's Damon McLaughlin on the run. McLaughlin's high strike is excellent. Has he made it? Oh, he has. His third point of the contest. Gorgeous from Damon McLaughlin, his second point of extra time.
Yeah, playing really well so far today as well, and just took the gamble again that the ball was going to break in between Danny and Rushy, and Fianna players going down with cramps there. Or Conor Kelly and Liam Rush are both cramping, so be a tense last 10 minutes.
Half time in extra time. St Judes have their biggest lead of the game. They lead by 3 points. Yeah. St Judes 22 points, Nafina 19. At one stage it was a 5-point lead for Nafina after 11 minutes, full stop. Sides have been level 7 times, but this is St Jude's biggest advantage by 3 at half time in extra time.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, the Nafina lads are in worse for wear. The 2 players cramping at the end, and Judes haven't gone down yet. Like Liam Rush has exerted a massive amount of energy following Danny around the place and has done extremely well. But coming into the last 10 minutes, Danny might try to use his legs a bit more and create a few chances.
Well, we've had 4 points for St Judes in extra time so far, and 1 for Nafina. Let's take a look at some of the main moments of extra time so far. Here they are, and this was Damon McLaughlin 30 seconds into extra time with a fabulous strike, and Danny Sutcliffe had scored as well, but then a response from Donald Burke. Those were 2 excellent points within a few moments of each other, and then Sutcliffe on the turn, that made it 21 points to 19, and Damon McLaughlin then another great score, 22 points to 19.
Yeah, and the big difference there is that Judes are getting scores from play. Jeremy McLaughlin and Danny coming up there with really, really vital scores, and Fianna have to be kicking themselves, and I'm sure Neil O'Callaghan looking on at the missed freeze has to be a big worry for him, that Fianna really should be a couple of points up at this stage, but freeze and poor execution. See, Owen McHugh is back on the pitch, and he's a big tank of gas left in him.
Yep, Owen McHugh wearing 14, back on the pitch now for Nafina, having gone off earlier.
Yeah, and Sean Curry has been quiet. It's tough. He hasn't had a lot of match practice. This is probably his first bit of competitive game time in a long time. He had a bad ankle injury, so he needs to start maybe coming out of that full forward line. He's been sitting in there, but then again, we don't know how fit that ankle is.
Well, that's true enough. So 10 minutes remaining, and remember, if we're level at the end of the next 10 minutes, then it will be penalties.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to see penalties if the standard of free taken so far.
Ready to go. St Jude's lead by 3. It's been a marathon for them. It's 22 points. They've matched the tally that they scored against St Vincent's. Most points they've got in the game was the 24, along with the goal that they scored against Atlanta in their final group game the other week. Anyway, here's the chance for Colin Curry, bursting through at 1 point now, and Nafina going to think about goals. Curry's still going. Chance for the flick. Very important bat away, but there'd been a pull back of the stick, and it's a free in for Nafina in a very, very good position.
Yeah, Colin again is the main man there. Owen McLaughlin was moved on to him late in the second half and has done a much better job on him, but Colin's still class shining through.
So Colin Curry to be the taker. Well, the way this game is going, it's not going to be finished until about 5 o'clock, and that's when the next quarter-final is due on. But here's the strike from Curry. That's his 5th point, and it's his first from a free, and it's a 2-point game.
And Jude will try to slow down every play they can now. There'll be an absolutely no rush, and try to target Danny Sutcliffe again on this.
22 points to 20. They've launched this one long.
And you can just see there, Liam Rush is so strong under them high balls that he's not even going with the hand anymore. He's just trying to break it.
That's just run through, and that'll be a line ball for St Jude's. It was really well claimed by Owen Grant, flicking off Colin Curry. Curry's was the last touch, but now it's gone the other way. Overruled by Mark Ryan, the referee. So Curry had the option of taking it. It's not his now. It'll be Donald Burke who'll take the sideline ball. Jem McManus was trying to cut the angle. Oh, what a fine stop that was by Kevin Lahiff. Maybe not the best sideline cut by Donald Burke. Wasn't looking to get a huge amount of distance on it. Burke is down with his left elbow. He's having a good look just to make sure that he doesn't get in the way of the play as well with that injury, and that's carried out over the sideline by Kieran Murphy, and things are going against Na Fianna now. Quite a few of them.
Yeah, Donald just with I think it was a stray hurl there, nothing bad, but just connected with the elbow, which can be a sore one. But Jerry McManus is standing over and making sure he's all right here. I'm sure he's very concerned.
That's a big worry for them. And the thing is as well, once he got that hit, because he was taking the sideline cut and it didn't quite go right, and then the ball comes out back into open play, and then he gets that hit, and then just as he was coming through, he just actually, I think, you know what, he was run into by his teammate Martin Quilty. I think that's what the injury was actually. So it's not come from a stick. I think it's come from a collision with his teammate.
I'm sure he'll be okay. Donald's a tough fella. It's just one of these bangs that's initially sore, but he'll get over it quick enough.
Well, from his point of view, he'll want to. A little bit of the magic spray, that always helps a bit. So 7 minutes left in extra time. St Judes 22 points, Na Fianna 20. And remember, the second quarter-finals coming up after this. Crave Kieran against Lucan Sarsfields, but that's been cut out immediately by Colin Curry. He's had a pop already. There wasn't a lot behind that. It fell short. Owen McHugh was sniffing, thinking about a goal, but well recovered by Ross O'Reilly, and out he came. So here goes John Carty out for St Judes. Tried to flick it away, but it's been well reclaimed by Donald Burke. Chance on the break for Sean Curry, and it just broke down. And Colin Curry trying to win it. It's held up here by Sean Curry, and that's a free in a very healthy position for Na Fianna. About 30 out. John Carty coming across, giving it away, and well, this is very scoreable.
You could see the initial lack of match practice in Sean Curry there, just didn't get the touch. Great turnover from Donald to supply him, and then Sean could kind of get his second chance to put the head down and win the free, and Colin will want to make no mistake with this.
Well, he scored the previous one from a free, this for his 6th point of the game, and he's done that. He's brought it down to a solitary point now. 6 for him, and it's 22 points to 21.
Just looking here, well, Donald Burke has gone in full forward, and Jerry McManus has followed him in there as well.
Struck with a good amount of distance as well. That's swept long by Owen McLaughlin, dropping in the square. There's just been one save that was made in the first 30 seconds that either goalkeepers had to make in this contest so far. A little tap in the head. It's a free out for Na Fianna, and that's a big moment. And St Judes with a couple of the forwards having taken a little bit of a strike. Joe McManus, he's not come out the worst. Stearman McLaughlin, who'll need a bit of the attention, and well, Joe McManus has gone down now as well. Physio's already on. There's cramp as well, and you'd expect quite a bit of cramp at this stage. There's going to be a couple of changes by the looks of it for St Judes too.
Yeah, Fianna Breen is coming back on. I think not much in it. I think just frantic there. Joe McManus is trying to get in the way of John O'Tracy taking a quick free, but just frantic play. It comes to nothing in the end.
Well, Fianna Breen is still on, and Diarmaid McLaughlin is off. Manus Malone getting back into position in the centre of the park. So here comes the free to be launched long by John O'Tracy. 5 minutes left in extra time. That is a glorious catch by Donald Burke. 12 points so far, and that might be 13. It is!
Oh
22 points apiece.
That is outrageous. What a score. Just win clean possession, turn, falling over on the sideline, and Jerry McManus right on top of him. What a score.
Glorious point, absolutely blistering point. 22 points all. We're level for, what is it, the 8th time in the game. Fantastic match.
Yeah, what a score to level as well. The class from Donald Burke there is just unbelievable. And Jerry McManus, as we've said, has done a great job, but there's only so long you can keep a man quiet like that.
It's a bit of a hit for Mark Ryan to investigate. Now, who does he want to talk to? Danny Sutcliffe is close to him, who was making a motion towards the referee and then wasn't. If he does want to talk to anybody, nobody wants to talk to him right now.
No, I don't think he's taken any action. I didn't see myself what happened, but looks like they'll carry on.
He was on the deck. There were a whole lot of bodies around him. There was a little bit of swinging, but there was no smoking gun or anything like that. He felt it, there's no doubt about that, but looks as if the ball's just going to be thrown in. There's no further action coming.
Looks like a change for Fianna as well. Paulo D is on instead of Peter Feeney.
So Paulo D, wearing 5, makes his way back onto the pitch. Feeney departing the seat. 22 points all. It's not quite a next score win situation. It's going to be a free for Fianna anyway. That's the light of the smattering of the Glasnevin support in the crowd. Of a good few hundred at Parnell Park today. That we can see is. Sounds like there's a good few under us as well. So, coming out, John O'Tracy. 22 points apiece. 2 minutes left of normal time in extra time.
I think Donald Burke wants to hit it. I think he would want to hurry up if he does. They've taken quite a while over this free already.
Penalties, by the way. As you've seen elsewhere, best of 5. And then it's sudden death.
And they're nearly taking a full minute to hit this free as well. So
Tick-tock. He's come a great distance out here, Burke. He's on his own 45. He's had a few attempts from this range. He's got the power, definitely. He's got a lot behind that, dropping in around the square. That's a glorious catch by Owen Grant. One-handed brilliantly, but not far away. Here's Colin Curry. Does he have the room to have a pop? Curry still going from close range, and Colin Curry puts the Fianna in front in extra time.
yeah, great score again. Keep mentioning that name, Colin Curry. He's been unbelievable today.
He scored 3 points in the second period of extra time. It's 23 points to 22. It's one of the highest scoring points-only games I've ever seen. I remember a classic 18-point encounter in a Munster semi-final between Cork and Waterford a good few years ago. And that's a shove on Danny Sutcliffe right in the middle of the park.
Yeah, it probably was a free in. O'D was lucky. Them two would have marked each other a lot in training. Knew the dummy was coming, did well, but Danny had the momentum to carry him through, and O'D just failed him in the end.
Major moment. He's had a few of those in normal time. That didn't go over. He's scored 11 points so far. The 2 he's got in extra time have been from play. Massive moment for Sutcliffe. This to maybe send us to penalties to tie it up. Sutcliffe looking for the equaliser, and he has got it.
No.
His 12th point.
Yeah, that is the standard free taking has been shocking. Danny will be very disappointed with that one, and the one obviously in normal time. They're the ones that just have to go over if you're looking to win.
23 points apiece. Waiting for the puck out now. 45 seconds in stoppage time played. We're beyond 90 minutes now, and it may well be the case that the next score in this is going to be the deciding one. We've had 46 points equally split so far. That was very well claimed. Connor Nolan has come on. That was his touch. Connor Nolan wearing 21, but it's been brought forward here by Sean Curry. Big opportunities. That's a trip, and this might be the match winner.
Yeah,
The foul by Connor Nolan.
really well done by Sean Curry and Donald Ryan there. Just again, direct running. You could see the footballer in Donald run, the support run off the shoulder, and just did very well to draw the free. And Colin Curry standing over this now.
It's been a fantastic opening quarter final, and if the other 3 are half as good as this, we're in for some games. Colin Curry to win it. It's there. is the time for Judes to level it.
Yeah, you'd imagine that'll be enough. It'll be blown now.
£24 points to 23. 47 points in the contest. And the Fianna coming away with this one as well. And they've got the free. And that'll buy them a few more seconds. They have time on their side. They have the score on their side. And so long as they hold on to possession here, then the spot in the semi-finals is theirs.
Yeah, absolutely no rush to take this from a Fianna point of view. Colin Curry's come a long way back to hit this, but I think the most valuable here thing is the time that it's going to take up.
What an incredible game. Well, it's struck long by Colin Curry. He likes it. He loves it. He's got every reason to. What a score.
Yeah, and if we said that was it before, that almost certainly is it now.
3 minutes of stoppage time in extra time played. 25 points to 23. A remarkable contest. A few swings there and bodies down all over the place. We're not done yet. Cramp left, right and centre. It looks, is that Liam Rush's down?
Yeah, Liam and Danny have had some battle today. The two of them have been nip and tuck all game and come out on top of different styles of the game, but that's been some battle to watch.
A lot of fans arriving for the throw-in time of Crave Kieran against Lucan Sarsfields. We need to ask you a man of the match very quickly as well. We'll ask you that in a moment. Here comes the long free from Colin Curry. Is it another beauty? Oh, yes it is.
Well, I think that answers the question very easily there, Will. It has to be Colin Curry. The main man for Fianna has been really bringing the charge by himself to Judes.
And they've done it. They have done it. They've survived somehow. 26 points to 23. They were down at half-time and extra time by 3 points, by 22 to 19, but they scored 7 of the last 8 points in the game, and it is Fianna who are the first team through to the semi-finals of the go-ahead Senior A Hurling Championship. An amazing quarter-final, which ends Fianna 26 points, St Judes 23 points. Incredible.
Cracking first quarter-final there, Will. Judes will obviously be disappointed not to have got the result, but a serious year from them. They were one of the teams of the championship. Turnover, Vincent's, to put it up to Fianna like this was a great expedition, and they had so many different scorers in play and stand-up performers. But Fianna will be disappointed with how they played there. They would have title hopes, and if they want to win a championship here, that they're going to have to perform an awful lot better than that.
But it happened really quickly at the end of those 3 points in a row from Curry. All from frees as well, and it just ruined St Jude's day, ended their championship run.
Yeah, and unfortunately the big talking point is you don't like to mention about players missing frees, that Jude's had opportunities to put Fianna away and didn't take it. So unfortunately that there's always going to be a loser on these days, and it happens to be Jude's today, but like we said, Fianna are going to want to kick on. And the argument made before today was that Fianna haven't had a massive test before now, that they maybe got out of their group relatively easy, so today might stand to them, and they might have learned a lot from it.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely incredible, but their opponents now in the semi-final might be rubbing their hands with glee a little bit, because there were a lot of tired limbs at the end of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the quarterfinals play out. But the conditioning of the lads these days, and with a 2-week break, I'm sure they'll be gunning for the next day.
There's no doubt about that at all. Guy Colin Curry, your man of the match. Talk to me about the significance of him.
Yeah, like he really was bringing the charge to Fianna almost by himself. He was out in front, winning ball, taking his man on. He got scores from play, he got frees, and then he started scoring frees himself. So it's a brilliant display from him. Well, let's have a word. Let's go down pitch side and join Shane Dawson after what has been an absolute classic.
Yes, thank you very much, Will. I am with the Go Ahead Ireland man of the match, and Donald, present that yourself. Donald, hey, I was tired watching it from the sidelines, so I don't know how you feel coming off that extra time. A titanic tussle out there.
Yeah, exactly. Fairness, we expected nothing less from Judes now. They've had a tough group, and it showed. Like they came in very ready for us, and I suppose it took us a good 40-50 minutes to get used to it, but thankfully we had enough in the tank at the end to pull through.
And I say, pressures for tyres as well. Did you feel any nerves or anything near the end? Because to be fair, you did miss a few, but then you stood up when it was needed.
Yeah, exactly. They had a nice and loud sideline over there. I had a few in front of them, unfortunately, but thankfully Curry was able to step up now when we needed him, and that's what it's all about. Like next man up whenever things are going well.
What's been the key this year? Because you've done so well in the group stages, you've racked up such big scores. It was 769 in the 3 wins already. There's a belief within this whole panel that perhaps hasn't been there in the last couple of years, that the inner belief that you can really drive on now.
Yeah, I suppose we've had a few good younger age teams coming through, and we're kind of only getting used. It takes a few years to develop up the big jump up to senior, like so. Especially the Dublin Championship is a very tough championship. So I suppose last year we just kind of felt we let ourselves down in the semi against Bowen, and we're thankfully we're back there now again. So we have a chance to redeem ourselves in 2 weeks' time.
What's the biggest takeaway from this? Like, what will you give, I suppose, most belief from? Like, what's the biggest positive that you'll take?
Probably the way we came out victorious. I suppose last few years when push comes to shove, we've kind of rolled over, and I suppose thankfully today we were able to go a bit deeper and just find a way to win, and we haven't been able to do that last few years.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I'll let you go enjoy the celebrations with your teammates and let you recover after that hard-fought victory. Well done, Donald.
Thanks very much, Jay.
Good stuff, Donald there. Man of the match. Go ahead, Ireland, man of the match here as Fianna defeat St Judes. And we'll be back with the second quarter-final of the day. It's Lucan Sarsfields against Crave Kieran in just a few moments. That match has been delayed by about 15 minutes, so it's coming up to 5 o'clock. So about 5:15, that will be throwing in, and we'll be back on air in Dubs TV in about 5 minutes' time. Myself and Owen O'Donnell will be previewing that before Owen joins Will Downing up in commentary for our second quarter-final of the day. As I say, Fianna ran out winners in extra time after a titanic tussle against Judes, and we'll certainly be hoping for more of the same a little bit later on. Is that all right? But like I mean, with this late notice, if I don't grab the man of the match, it's not the end of the world. Down to the top, there's only one inch to use the throw.